Election Commission versus the opposition on the Bihar elections. The Supreme Court, remember, is going to hear the petition challenging the special intensive revision, the SIR drive, which has been started in the state of Bihar just, months away from elections. The court is going to hear the objections of the petitioners in this case on 10th of this month. The court accepted the petitioners' request for an urgent hearing, but refused to pause the exercise for now. Remember, there are political leaders from the opposition, and along with that, many activists from ADR, from other NGOs as well, those who are already questioning this entire drive, which gives sweeping powers as far as the Election Commission is concerned. 11 eligible documents. People are once again being asked to prove that they are eligible to vote in the upcoming election of Bihar. And surprisingly, some important documents like Aadhaar, like the voter ID, which they already possibly used in 2024 Lok Sabha election, all those are not part of those 11. Now, this has raised fears that many people in Bihar could be left disenfranchised after this entire exercise which is being conducted. Opposition parties are hitting out at the Election Commission and have called for Bihar Bandh on July 9 to protest against this ongoing drive of the Election Commission. Remember, this has become a major point of contention for the upcoming elections. I have some very important questions that we are going to in fact ask and address on this, as opposition calls it vote bandi. Listen in to some reactions.
हमारा ये मांग है कि इस काम को ही रोक दिया जाए, चुनाव के बाद जो है इस काम को जारी किया जाए, क्योंकि अब 18 दिन रह गया है, अभी भी इतनी शिकायतें हैं। जरा चुनाव आयोग बीएलओ से बात करे, कितना बीएलओ गाली खा रहा है, घर टू घर जा रहा है तो, और बीएलओ से पूछे कि गरीबों के पास कौन कौन से डॉक्यूमेंट्स हैं, इसलिए इस काम को रोक दिया जाए। हम लोग सब लोग जो है, कई लोग जो है कोर्ट का दरवाज़ा हम लोगों ने खटखटाया है, वहां भी अपनी बात को कोर्ट के समक्ष जो है हम लोग रखेंगे।
It was not done for 22 years. It was shelved. Why did you decide, and how did you decide, on what basis, the position paper or the approach paper, that it should be done now? Every year there is revision. Nowhere, never, I have never seen the kind of collective anxiety what we see today. My leader, Tejasvi ji, went to the Chief Electoral Officer Bihar, flagged issues, several issues. How come you decided only these 11 documents? So this entire exercise in the month of monsoon, and with a large migrant population. And number two, Bihar is the most data deficient state. Now in that state, document deficient state, आप ये सारी चीजें 25 दिन में करना चाह रहे हैं, तो ये लोगों को इंक्लूड करने की योजना नहीं है। इससे लोग बेदखल होंगे। Disenfranchisement of large number of people shall be the outcome if it is not unchecked.
बेयकीनी पैदा किया जा रहा है, चुनाव आयोग पर हमला किया जा रहा है। जो लोग महाराष्ट्र में हारे, जो राष्ट्र में हारे, जो हरियाणा हारे, जो दिल्ली हारे, उनको हार का डर सता रहा है। इसलिए राहुल गांधी की तरह वो इलेक्शन कमीशन को ब्लेम करने लगे हैं, और यही काम कर रहे हैं क्योंकि बिहार में एनडीए एकजुट है। नीतीश कुमार के नेतृत्व में चिराग पासवान जी की पार्टी, भारतीय जनता पार्टी, मांझी जी की पार्टी, उपेंद्र कुशवाहा जी की पार्टी इकट्ठा होकर लड़ने वाली है, 200 सीट जीतने वाली है। ये अंदाज़ा विपक्ष को हो गया है, इसलिए अभी से हार का बहाना तलाश रहे हैं कि बाद में ये कहेंगे कि इलेक्शन कमीशन ने हरा दिया। जो बिहारी वैलिड वोटर है उसका एक भी नाम कटने वाला नहीं है। अगर कोई बिहारी बाहर भी रहता है, उसका वोट बिहार में है, तो वो वोट डाल सकता है। एक जगह वोट होना चाहिए, कोई दिक्कत आने वाली नहीं है। लेकिन ये लोग पूरी तरह भ्रम पैदा कर रहे हैं। बिहार को बदनाम करने के लिए इस तरह की भाषा बोली जा रही है।
I'm being joined at this moment by Mr. Jagdeep Chokar, founding member of the ADR, one of the petitioners against this SIR, the Special Intensive Drive that the Election Commission has in fact started in the state of Bihar. Sir, thank you for speaking to us here on NDTV. Let me begin by asking you, what is your petition? What are the objections that you have to this entire exercise that you have gone to the Supreme Court with?
Well, the process that the Election Commission initiated on the 24th of June has two broad set of issues. One are legal issues, the other are practical issues. Since we are talking of the Supreme Court, let me focus on the legal issues first. One, the notification of June 24th says that for voters registered before 1/1/2003, there is a presumption of citizenship, which directly implies that for voters registered after 1/1/2003, there is no presumption of citizenship, which means that voters registered on the electoral roll after 1/1/2003 till June 23, 2025 are removed from the voter list. Now, for removing somebody's name from the voter list, there is a laid down procedure in the law, and the law is available in the Registration of Elector Rules and in the Representation of People Act, of which the Election Commission is fully aware. The law says that if you want to delete the name of a voter whose name already is there on the electoral roll, that person has to be given a written notice.
Right.
And the notice is to be delivered to the person, and if the person is not at home, the notice should be pasted on the door of his house. The reason for giving the notice is that the person can let the Election Commission know if there are any reason why his or her name should not be deleted.
Right.
It is called a show cause notice. And then after the notice, if somebody doesn't turn up to the Election Commission, his or her name can be deleted.
Okay.
But if there is a requirement, the opportunity of a personal appearance has to be given. All that has been given a go-by in effectively deleting the names of all voters who are registered from 1/1/2003 to
Right.
25 June 2025. Number one,
Yes.
This is illegal. There are two illegalities. If you want, I can explain them, but if you are short of time, we can move on.
I want to ask you this. A lot of people have been asking the question that, if the same voter list was used for the 2024 general elections, until December there were no problems as far as these voter lists are concerned, then why has this need been necessitated? Has there been political parties which have complained about the old voter list? Why has this been necessitated? That's the big question that people are asking.
Well, that question, my friend, only the Election Commission can answer. The law says Election Commission can conduct any such revision at any time it likes, with the reasons being recorded. There are 5 reasons recorded, which are: there has been urbanization, there have been deaths, there have been no new people above 18, there has been some other thing, and there are illegal voters. Now, these reasons have existed for the last 20-25 years. They did not happen yesterday or 23rd of June. So reasons are not acceptable, but the law only says that the Election Commission has the choice of the time. It does not say that they can change the voter eligibility criteria. In this case, the Election Commission has gone and changed the criteria for eligibility of becoming a voter. That's why Mr. Ashok Lavasa, former election commissioner, has written in the Tribune today that Election Commission should have taken the 2024 electoral roll and then checked what should be deleted and what should be added. That is what normally is done in such revisions. But what Election Commission is trying to do is to develop a completely new de novo electoral roll, which was first done in 1956.
Right.
After that, there has been no de novo electoral roll. Now, this is not necessary, and there are two Supreme Court judgments, one in 1995, one in 2024, which say that the Election Commission should not be checking people's citizenship status. They should only update the electoral roll.
I very quickly want to understand from you, one aspect of the practical problem with the number of 11 documents which have been listed, especially for the poor in Bihar. So far most people would either have an Aadhaar card or a ration card or their former, election, the EPIC card, the voter ID card. Those are some of the cards which people have, or their Manrega card as their identity, especially for the poor. Do you believe that excluding all these four, it is going to be very, very difficult, especially for the poorer sections of the society in Bihar, to prove that they are eligible to vote or have themselves included in these new electoral rolls?
It will not only be extremely difficult, it will be impossible. And I have been telling people that this should not have been done, or it should not have been done this way. But if the Election Commission persists in doing it this way, it will result in the disenfranchisement of more than 50% of the electorate, which at the time of the election has the potential of creating civil strife. I feel very bad and sad saying so, but unless it is stopped or it is drastically changed, this will be very difficult situation for not only the Election Commission but the country to handle, and we need to understand that and take corrective action now.
Right. So thank you so much for speaking to us. We've only been able to scrape on the surface as far as this big problem is concerned for a lot of people, but we are hoping that there will be some directives from the Supreme Court and the situation would be clear, because the Election Commission also stands its ground and does say that it is only to weed out elements which are not eligible to vote. But like I said, there have been practical legal problems. The questions are being raised whether this is an inclusionary tactic or an exclusionary practice that the Election Commission is in fact starting in the state of Bihar. And remember, it's not only the state of Bihar. The plan is to then, in fact, go across various states which go for elections in the upcoming months and years.